All right, we got the SRX broadcasted split going here at Mobility Resort Motegi Grand Prix. Thank you for tuning in to the SRX broadcasted split. Just waiting for the session to go up. It looks like we got 7 drivers here for tonight's event for a 7-lap race around the Mobility Resort Motegi track in Motegi, Japan, also formerly known as Twin Ring Motegi. Next week, we'll be going to the oval version of this, back to more standard SRX racing, but we're having another road course on the schedule here. But like I said, just waiting for the session to go up, and then we can get a video feed going. SOF looking to be at 1683, so a pretty solid SOF for this race, especially considering it being on a road course. But loading into the session right now. All right, in the session right now. Just gotta get it going. And let's get our ticker up on the screen real quick, if I can manage to do that. But still in the practice session for this. Just trying to get it to load. There we go. So there'll only be one lap of qualifying uh for today's qualifying for the SRX broadcast split, because iRacing only gave us 5 minutes work to work with here. But just all right, got cars rolling out on track. And you know what? Let's take a look with Ricky Paz rolling out on track, getting those tires up to temp. But a pretty tough combo here for today, or for this week's SRX broadcast split. These cars not gonna be very cooperative, and a lot of the braking zones here are heavy braking. And these cars, they wanna come around on you when you brake too much, or they wanna lock up uh, at any given point. But we got a pretty good top 3 cars in this race. Ricky Paz, who won the SOF race on Wednesday, and then Barrett Canning, who won, I believe, the race directly preceding that. And then Chad Bremer, who was very fast in both of those races. So Ricky Paz coming across the start-finish line to start his, or sorry, not just yet, going down the back straight right now. Those grid markings on the back straightaway kind of threw me off a little bit. But heading through the final sector of the track right now, Paz looking to get a good run, coming to the only lap you can do around here. And it looks like a pretty good run up to the start-finish line here at Motegi. Coming into turn 1, this very long right-hander, almost like a double apex kind of. But Paz keeps it together through there, doesn't overshoot it, keeps it very nice and tidy. And down this little straightaway right here, under the Bridgestone banner, went a little bit wide using all the track that he can get. Doesn't go off track just yet. But this one car looking very fast right now. And heavy on the brakes again. You can see those front brakes glowing hot, even if it is only the second lap out on track. Another long sweeping right-hander to go down the back straightaway here. And it's a downhill braking zone. Very easy to lock it up right here or swing wide. Paz able to do a good job keeping it composed. Now he just needs to not slide through this final sector, and he'll have a very good lap. Very good lap for him. Had to get out of the gas just a little bit on exit, but comes across the stripe with a 158.478 for Ricky Paz. 2.5 tenths faster than second place Barrett Canning. So a good qualifying performance from car number 1, as he'll be in the top spot going for this 7-lap race here at Motegi. All right, and let's get our starting lineup here out of the way. Starting on pole, it is going to be Ricky Paz. Then on his outside, it's going to be car number 2, Barrett G. Canning in second. Rounding out your front row here at Motegi. In third, it is Chad Bremer in car number 3. He was very fast in the races preceding this, so looking forward to seeing what he can do in that number 3 car. And then it is Nathaniel Hill in car number 6, starting in P4. Running out your top 5 on the inside of row number 3, it's going to be car number 5, Gavin Stambaugh. And on his outside, it's going to be Drew Burns in car number 4, rounding out row number 3. And rounding out your field of 7 cars in this SRX broadcast display, it's going to be Scott Yost in car number 7. All right, pace car is in. It's going to be Ricky Paz jumping the start a little bit to get clear of Barrett Canning for the green flag. So Ricky Paz already with about a 0.3 of a second lead going into turn one. Chad Bremer already looking to close the gap to Barrett Canning. You see Gavin Stambaugh in the back trying to close it to the back of Drew Burns. Scott Yost taking it really easy in the back, looking to take advantage of any driver making a mistake. Very easy to make a mistake around here at Motegi. Everyone very calm through the first set of corners here. No one going off track just yet. Got a battle going on for, this is 5th place right here. Drew Burns all over the back end of Gavin Stambaugh. Cars 4 and 5 battling for it. Big run for Burns to the inside of Stambaugh. Locks up that those inside tires a little bit. And he's going to have to go wide as the switchback corner puts Stambaugh ahead of car number 4. So Burns going to have to reposition himself to try and get back around car number 5. Further up the field, it's Chad Bremer all over the back end of Barrett Canning. Bremer, no stranger to road course racing here. Neither is Ricky Paz, as he's pulling out to about a 1.2 second gap over second place, and looking to build up more of a gap. But Chad Bremer, known for being able to put the pressure on pretty soundly here at the road course, as the first lap completed here in the SRX broadcast split at I was going to say Twin Ring Motegi, Mobility Resort Motegi. As now the field has pretty much stretched out. But anything can change in the course of 5 laps around here. Keep in mind, that's still about 10 minutes of racing. As, we see Chad Bremer get a little bit wide. He goes off track a little bit. But everyone playing very nice thus far. Barrett Canning making up a little bit of ground to Ricky Paz. The gap shortening from about 1.2 seconds to about 0.8 of a second. So Canning getting those tires up to temp and gonna try to hunt down that one car. Both these drivers are very good on the road courses. Canning was very good at Lime Rock, I believe last season or 2 seasons ago. So very capable drivers in this top 3. Coming into the final sector here, Canning closing in the gap between him and Paz. Chad Bremer went off track a little bit trying to get everything recuperated. Gonna fall out of touch with Canning and Paz, but still has quite the gap to the car behind. So as long as he dials things back and kind of recuperates, he will be able to still have a very strong finishing position. Fastest lap of the race right now just set by Barrett Canning, a 1:58.4. That time by, he was 0.7 faster than Ricky Paz. Let's see if he can keep up that pace. See Nathaniel Hill and Chris Stambaugh they've kind of separated themselves from the from the four of Drew Burns back in sixth, and all the way in the back, that's Big Scott Yost, just having fun by himself, getting that car safely around this tough and twisty track. You can see how much ground Canning makes up in the braking zones, and then Paz kind of pulls away on exit. But just getting, when they cross the stripe, that'd kind of be the halfway point. But still a close battle between these two drivers. Canning definitely looking to close up the gap a little bit more, and hopefully pounce on a rare Ricky Paz mistake if it happens. Paz took that corner a little bit shallow. Canning had a better corner through there, made up about a 10th just in that final sector alone. So Canning doing his best to catch up to Paz. They matched lap times last time by a 158.74 for Ricky Paz, a 158.78 for Canning. So these guys pretty much on equal speed here. But this is the closest battle on track right now between these two drivers. A little bit of a slide from Paz as he exits the corner. It's gonna allow Canning to catch up to him as this race progresses. Added tire heat on those right rears is not gonna be beneficial. How will Paz pushing that car pretty hard affect him later down in this race? Because there were people reporting that towards the end of the race, rear grip was really at a premium. One of the SRX broadcast split regulars, Wesley Dunphy, was having a real big problem with rear grip at the end of the Wednesday race. So taking care of that rubber is going to be an imperative. As it looks like Paz starting to pull away from Canning a little bit, about 2/10 last time by. Canning's gonna have to make up that time if he wants to have a shot at Paz in the closing stages of this race. Past halfway, going to lap number 5. As it looks like some drivers are now having issues with off tracks now. As those rear tires start to heat up, we're looking at Drew Burns. He just got really sideways, almost went off. But yeah, a few cars went off track the past couple of laps. These cars don't get any easier to drive as the race goes on. But you wouldn't get that impression if you're watching car number 1, Ricky Paz, driving smooth as butter right now. Both him and Canning driving very well. Same for Chad Bremer in third. Consistency is key with these cars at at road courses. As whoa, I thought Paz was gonna go off track for a second. He took a lot of speed in that corner, but made it stick. But coming to 2 laps to go here at Motegi. Canning, you can see Canning really trying to use every inch of the track to try and catch up to him. Something might have happened to Drew Burns. Let's see. Nothing actually happened to him. He just went off track a little bit, according to the track marshals. So we actually haven't had anyone spin, which is quite surprising. It's very easy to spin these cars out. So this field of 7 drivers in the SRX broadcast split, definitely at the very least, no throttle control. So very proud that we haven't had a spin yet. Hopefully the commentator's curse doesn't come to bite me. But the gap between first and second now going out to about 1.5 seconds. The window's starting to close on Garrett Canning, trying to catch Ricky Paz. Paz has just been flawless this race. Keep saying that Drew Burns went off track, so Burns having a little bit of issue probably with tire lockup and the car trying to just fling itself off the track. As you can see, the tire tracks on the exit of that and some loose gravel on track as well. Looks like Chad Bremer doing his part, bringing some gravel onto this track. Like I said, these cars don't get any easier to drive as the race goes on, but white flag in the air for Ricky Paz. One more lap around Motegi. He just needs to not make any mistakes. And he will be golden, but Garrett Canning, you know, he's definitely going to be pushing to try and catch the back end of Paz in an event of a miscue for car number 1. See those, you can see just how much those cars are breaking into that corner with how the front end kind of slams into the ground. In my experience with these cars, you use upwards of 100% of your brake, like of brake pressure, to get the car slowed down in time. But Ricky Paz keeping it calm and composed, coming to the final sector of this track. Garrett Canning just a second behind, trying his hardest to catch up. But he might be just out of reach if Paz keeps this on track. Coming into the final hairpin here at Motegi. Or not really hairpin, but final sharp corner, I should say. As we go into the final set of corners, Ricky Paz holds on to a win from the pole over Garrett Canning in the SRX broadcast split. A great win for Ricky Paz in a good race that Garrett Canning put on to make sure that Paz did not get too comfortable in the lead, although he finishes 1 second behind your race winner. Let's get your top 5 up on the board real quick. It's going to be Ricky Paz coming home in first with Garrett Canning in second, and then Chad Bremer in third. A 1-2-3 for cars 1, 2, and 3. Nathaniel Hill in car number 6 comes home in fourth, and then Gavin Stambaugh comes home where he started in fifth as car number 5. Rounding out your top 5, right outside the top 5, it's going to be Drew Burns in car number 4, and then Scott Yost having a quiet but calm race, rounding out your field of 7 cars and car number 7. Well, while drivers are doing their cooldown lap, I want to say thank you to everyone who watched this live stream. Your support always helps this SRX broadcast split go on, and I'm very grateful for anyone who does watch, comment, like, and subscribe, you know, the whole shebang. Big thank you to the drivers who showed up to this race to make it possible. Big thanks to SKS Graphics and Andrew Schulte for their help with the ticker and creating the ticker. If you need help with broadcast tickers, don't be afraid to hit up SKS Graphics and Andrew Schulte. Great person to work with and incredibly talented at making tickers. Big thanks to Nico for managing the SRX series, and big thanks to, once again, you, the viewer, for watching. Next weekend, next week, at Friday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, I unfortunately will not be broadcasting this because I will be in Washington, D.C. at Otakon, the anime convention. So I personally will not be broadcasting. This, but we'll be going to Twin Ring Motegi Oval. So going back to oval racing in the SRX series, gonna be looking forward to that, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next race. Y'all take it easy.